This week on What the Podcast.
A pig in a blanket.
Hilarious.
So good.
Really been enjoying these Fear Street movies.
We're so late to the game on it.
I would so watch it again. It is so
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
There's a serial killer.
What are you saying? From the pictures that they took of the actual crime scene, like
They have,
painstakingly accurate.
insane-
And is he a
Or is it-
human-sized rabbit?
On the couch as always. Welcome back to What the Podcast. Spooky edition. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
Together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch this week, as always, producer Cara Tafolla, the lovely Annie the Skovmand, and introducing this week, Chester McBoney's son.
McBoneyson?
I think he said McBoney's son.
It's Chester. All you need to know is
Chester.
Chester.
It's Chester
okay?
McBoneyson.
Oh, you call people by their last name all the time? No.
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
Yeah.
Chester.
I call Annie the Skov.
Skov.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
her
That's
brand.
Chester
That's
the Bone
my
Boneman.
brand.
Chester doesn't have that
Okay,
kind of brand.
new name. Chester the
no.
Bone Boneman.
Oh,
That's his name.
Chester,
cool.
and in college they just called him Boner.
Boner. Boner champ.
What's up, Boner?
Wow.
This is Boner.
No, his name's Chester.
He's a new producer. Is he a new producer? 'Cause he's on the
Chester.
couch, or is he a
Wait,
guest?
are you cut to Chester, Cara?
Okay, hold on.
He's gonna. Yeah. we'll
Chester, what do you have to say?
Hey guys, it's me,
Speaking
Chester.
in the mic.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm really happy to be here, personally. Honestly, you guys really tickle my ribs.
Oh,
Hey,
Chester.
Chester.
Anyone
Hey.
that's listening,
cut his mic,
we
cut
should
his
probably
mic.
clarify. There's a skeleton on the couch.
That's Chester.
Okay,
That's Chester.
Chester the skeleton.
Chester,
Boneson.
Yeah.
Boner Boneson.
Whatever.
They called him the boner in college.
That's what
College,
they
hey, crazy college days. Everyone wants to
Gosh.
forget college, you know?
Yes, that
Yeah,
was
that's
Metacarpal University over there.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey.
Guys, I like our
We need an
costumes this
applause
year.
button.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
close enough.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go around the room. Costumes.
Yes, for the
Let's go
listeners
around.
at home, I am once again back, starting off the good fall spooky season with David S. Pumpkins.
Did you come in with that last year?
Any questions? I think I did. I think I
Yeah.
ripped
too.
into it with David S. Pumpkins.
Yeah, I'm dressed
John, we've got
as a chef, a general chef.
I thought you were a Smurf,
Could have been a Smurf.
not a Smurf.
I'm a Smurf chef.
Chef.
Yeah.
Cool.
I always start off slow in the Halloween season.
do.
So last year I was a cowboy. I'm starting off very general.
that's right.
Then I'm
I
gonna
forgot
go
about
into
Cowboy.
it. Then I'm gonna go into it. The next 2 weeks, you better watch out. I'm gonna
Just
come in
rip
hard
right into it.
I'm looking for really fun pop culture-y ones. Like Annie's great at them, but I'm
Last year,
working on it.
it's hard to beat my costumes last year.
They were pretty good.
Last year,
Yeah, remind
This
us
year,
some of the
what
best.
are you?
last year
Okay,
I
what-
was Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I was I was a student loan debt.
Yeah, good
Okay.
one.
And then
good
I
one.
was crippling depression.
Yeah, we just glossed over that one.
Crippling depression.
At the time, it was hilarious.
So it's still
Looking
funny.
back, it's like,
yeah.
I have some in my back pocket that I'm like, maybe we'll pull those out. Takes a little extra. But yeah.
Today you are.
Today I'm a pig in a blanket.
Okay,
Wow.
all right.
But-
For the listeners at home, I will describe what Annie's wearing. She has a sign on her that says Ned Fulmer, and she's wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah.
I'm a pig in a blanket.
Funny. Very funny.
Don't cheat on your wives, kids.
Hey, don't do it. Just
Don't do it publicly
And
when
last
you're
but
famous.
certainly not least, we have my lovely wife as
Kim Possible.
Kim.
You were going
Call
to do
me,
the text
beat
tone?
me,
Do-do-do-do.
if you need to
What's the one
reach
that-
me.
Ready. I've been wanting to do this all
Okay,
day.
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That's the beginning of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm an
Thank
average
you.
kind of my girl.
riff off.
Thank you.
Couldn't
Riff off.
say the
Thank you.
word.
All
right, that's
Can't
good.
stop me
And
'cause
copyright
I'm
strike.
Kim
Slices. That's
Possible.
enough
thank you.
slices.
That's
Please
enough.
stop.
You know, it's the sister from Even Stevens.
Cool.
Yeah, she's
Christy
amazing. I used to
Carlson
think because
Romano.
it would have the commercials on TV
Yes.
of her like
Music
recording
video.
it, and I was like, man, she runs from recording Even Stevens to
Yes.
go live, live
Yes.
like
No.
voiceover.
No.
Yeah, I had no concept
Okay,
of how
ready
TV
for this?
worked.
Ready for this? Ron Stoppable, played by the older brother from Boy Meets World.
Whoa.
Oh, that's
Thank
right.
you.
Crazy.
I mean, when you're at Disney, you're kind of doing everything, right?
It's a lot of in-house stuff, I
It's a lot of
assume.
tape
Gotta watch that
stuff.
show.
Yeah, you didn't watch Boy Meets World?
I watched it a little bit. No.
I watched a little bit. Yeah, I watched of it.
I watch that show pretty much every day, every
I
morning.
did
that's
not
nice.
at all.
I was
Well,
going to talk to
you
you
guys
about
know
costumes
Mr.
because
Feeney.
it's our first week, and I was trying to figure out my costume last minute. Casual.
Sure.
Kind of how always the first week goes for me. But I was wondering what you guys thought about, like when you're trying to really nail a costume, like.
I can't say
When
this
it comes to your limitations, like I won't shave my beard for a costume, but that means
Lame.
I can't be like 90% of the people that I want to be because I have to like I
You have
wouldn't
to be
look
something that the
well.
beard,
You know what I'm saying?
Like it's you're asking like what level of commitment do you go to for
well,
a
and it's
costume?
like Cara, she didn't wear the red wig. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? But,
But
everyone
this
still
still-
knows she's
this
Kim
still
Possible.
speaks Kim
you know
Possible.
What
Oh,
I'm saying?
if
Oh,
I
yeah.
had the red wig, I would have worn it.
Of course,
Okay,
but
I know.
of course.
But I'm saying, like, how far do you go? Like, do you try and find a costume that works for you, or
Yes.
do you change
Yes.
your appearance to like? Try
I mean,
and
a little
fit
bit of both.
something?
I think you meet it halfway. Like I think, like me and Cara have done couples costumes for the past few years, and they've just hit. They
Yeah.
just hit because we choose things that we can look like. Now, last year we chose Mermaid Man and
I
Barnacle
don't
Boy.
think
That
we
was
look
good.
like Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. Oh, Bob's Burgers. We looked like the most.
Well, you shaved for that.
Yeah.
There
we
you
were
go.
Bob and Linda, and I
Yeah.
guess we didn't really look like Hall and Oates, but
Oh, I think we did.
Okay,
well,
that's interesting. You
I
guys
think
are
we looked
really,
more like
really
Hall and
on
Oates.
odds
Hall
on
and
this.
Oates.
We looked more like Hall and Oates than Linda and Bob.
I'm
I
just
think.
gonna say we nailed it, and nailing it in a casual way for me is great. I mean, anyone can rip in with like one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes.
That's what I'm going
But
as
that's
this year.
that's what you're going
Yeah,
as this year.
interesting that you
That's
say that.
100% commitment. I
Yeah,
hope you know
thank you.
that once you decide like I want to be less than
Screw you.
myself.
Yeah.
Really, that's what you're being.
No, I'm not being that.
I knew you weren't being. that.
I was
Because
gonna
that's-
say you're gonna take up so much room in the
That's like-
space.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
That
be the
giant
bull
costume.
rider one. Where
Okay.
like
Okay.
ooh,
You should
or
be the one
ostrich.
where it's like the person getting abducted by an alien.
Oh,
Getting an
now
abduction.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see.
Be that.
I'm trying to think of funny, like good costume ideas, and this is great, like too, because we're right at the beginning of the month. So
Right.
if you're
You have a
listening
lot of time
and
to
you
think
don't
about it.
have a costume idea, let's fire some ones that you guys have been thinking about.
Okay.
Not obviously yours that you're.
Now, let me
Taking.
kick it back to you. Do you go for relevance, like a movie that just came out? Do you go for like, a comic book adaptation? Do you go for like, just a funny thing like that?
So,
What do you go for? What's
like,
your angle?
Like when I first graduated high school,
Uh-huh.
I was really into costumes, like trying to get as close to the real thing as possible. I was like Willy Wonka one year, the Johnny Depp version. It was like and like really got into it.
Did you have the bomb wig?
Yep, and I had
Incredible,
that, and
incredible.
I even had that year. I bought it on Etsy. It was like the actual cane full of nerds, and I still have it.
Wow.
And you can like fill it with nerds.
Do
Like
you
'cause
wear
that's
the
the one he
glasses that
has.
you're wearing right now?
No, these are new. I wore, but I have Willy Wonka really big ones
Sure.
that I wore. And then, but now I feel like my current state, I try and do something that's like edgy and funny. Like I was an
You wanna push
anti-vaxxer
the
last year,
envelope.
which I thought was
Hilarious.
That was
so
so
funny.
good.
Hilarious.
That was good.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's like even if here's the thing. I know the people that I hang out with aren't going to be offended by that,
Right.
And like an anti-vaxxer is already pretty.
So then
fringe,
who's it
so-
for? It's for the world.
It's
It's
for the
not
world.
for your friends.
It's funny.
World.
It's you pushing the envelope.
So I
And
was trying to
respect
think
that.
about like what would I do that was like kind of edgy and like I don't know if I want to go political, like because last year was technically probably political.
Wait,
and-
last year we were
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Mermaid
Yeah.
and Barnacle. We don't look anything like them.
And
But
John
I was
was an
going for the laugh.
anti-vaxxer, and Jordan was Ryan.
That's
I was
right.
I always try and go for the funny. Is what
I'm
I-
gonna
what I
take
do.
that credit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I'm the one who thought of Ryan.
You
We'll
told
never
Jordan
know.
to dress like me for Halloween.
Yeah.
Why?
Or
all
maybe
very last
or
minute.
maybe she
Well,
thought
very
of it
last
and I'm
minute.
the one who actually pulled it together. It was a team effort for sure, but we sat there and I almost thought of doing it again and having it be every week I'm one of you.
Now
That would've been really funny.
But
Yeah,
then
you
I
would've
was like,
done that.
I'm gonna show up as Ryan, and they're gonna be like, Jordan did that last year, but we were so good because we even drew your tattoos
Like
onto
accurately
her.
Yeah.
markered
That's
in
so
my
funny.
tattoos on her arm.
Pretty good.
That was pretty
It was
funny.
And then I have a video of you two fighting. And it was
I mean,
Ryan
and
fighting
there's-
Ryan.
So there's always like Halloween activities, so you have to factor that into your costume
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, like-
am I going to be wrestling someone?
I
you
went
know?
bar hopping on Halloween for a bachelorette party.
Did you?
And I really had to think about that. I was like, it has to be good enough that
What did you choose on that bar hopping?
I was
Wait,
Willie
you were
Nelson.
with us on Halloween?
No, I came that later.
Oh,
I did both.
I don't
An
really
early
bar
I
hop.
went bar hopping that Saturday
The
and then on
weekend
Halloween.
before. That makes sense.
No,
Okay.
the night before because Halloween was on
Got
the
it.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Tell you what, we go to our mutual friend the Pinning's house for Halloween. Pretty
Shout out
much
to Kat for decorating our set.
pretty much every year.
Yes.
She's very much into that. And so you have to factor that in too. Is like, I'm going to be
Huge
just
different
hanging
one.
out. Do I do a costume? Do I, along with your scheduling, Halloween's on a Monday this year.
Yeah.
So you have to factor that into
I took
okay,
Tuesday off.
Am
Same.
if I'm not going to party so hard, maybe I'm going to go all out on my costume, make a big impression right away, and then, slip quietly into the night.
Yeah, that's always a fun one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. I think I know my brother does several costumes throughout the year because
He does, doesn't he?
he's got a lot of parties he goes to, and I think he also loves. I think just loves.
It's
doing
just
the
fun,
costume
like
thing.
putting on a good costume and, hanging
yeah.
out with friends and
I mean, basically, my birthday party is like a giant costume party. Like
Sure.
you just everyone dresses
Oh,
up
yeah.
on a theme, and it's always fun. I think it's something to do when you like grow up.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you back to like a little bit of childhood of getting to be what you wanted to be on Halloween or
Oh, yeah, I
whatever,
see
when you
that.
dressed up as we were all child theater actors, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, like it takes you back to like you kind of childish like
Yes.
fun and
definitely. You guys, I don't know if you recall last year.
Go ahead.
The holiday season to me, and maybe we even talked about it on the show, didn't feel like the holiday season last year.
Yeah,
Christmas
I agree.
came and it was kind of like, oh, Christmas came and went. This year, I'm really feeling like Halloween has begun.
That's,
Oh,
you know
good.
why?
Why is that?
Because freaking Pumpkin Spice came out in August.
It
That's
came
what I'm
out so
saying.
early.
All
yeah,
September,
okay,
I
not
was
that much
like
crazy.
to do with
ready
it?
for it. I think I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe it is something just in the air. I think that's what it was last year. Like just the weird feeling of the season. But I'm really like into it this year for some reason. I'm like, we've been watching scary movies after the podcast. We've
Yeah,
been
it's
like
fun.
hanging out. We're already in costume. I'm ready for it. I'm psyched.
I was a little rushed into October.
Uh-huh.
I feel like when it was October 1st on Saturday, I got like really kind of anxious for like a couple of hours, being like, oh my gosh, we're already in October. And there's like all these things on the schedule like that happen in October and
sure.
November, and I'm like,
October is a big
blink.
month for WTP.
I'll
and
tell you
here
what,
at the
it's
podcast.
packed.
Sure
Yeah, and
is.
just for us too, because you have to go skydiving at some point.
Oh, shoot.
And then we're like,
I have to go skydiving.
most of us are going to Vegas the weekend, just for my
Right.
brother's birthday, and then the weekend after that, we're doing the 25-hour, and it's
So
all coming
exciting.
so fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but it's going to be a fun one. Do you want to talk about the 25-hour?
Let's just briefly talk about it, folks. If you're listening in and you missed our big announcement last weekend, is that we are so excited to bring back the 25-hour podcast. And this year, we're really excited because we're going to be raising money towards Alzheimer's San Diego.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day about it who didn't know about what we did last year.
Sure.
And so it just is so funny to explain.
Yeah.
That we're going to be live on the internet for 25 hours and
Oh my
essentially
gosh, explaining it to people has been like,
so crazy.
do you understand? Like, they can't wrap their heads around it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
25 hours live.
It's like a
24-hour
telethon
live.
Yeah.
essentially this year, and especially because we're going to be, we're partnering up with Alzheimer's San Diego. We're going to be trying to raise $2,500 towards this awesome cause that it's really important to all of us here.
Yeah.
And it's just like now it's kind of becoming a new thing. Where last year we were like just the sheer,
Idea of
call it
doing it.
willpower, call
Yeah.
it stupidity, whatever you want to call it, we pulled it off just because it was fun.
It was
right?
crazy to think that we didn't have very many technical issues.
No.
For the idea that we were live on the internet for 25 hours. Like, I know it's possible.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the internet has, you can do those things now. There are people that are live streaming constantly for years on end.
Totally.
But it is pretty amazing that we went 25 hours without like the internet going down or a camera overheating. Like, on a technical level, it was very smooth, which was super cool.
Pretty impressive. And so we're trying to go bigger this year. Obviously, we can't just, do the same thing again.
No, definitely
Trying
not.
to get some local partners, trying to get some coverage as much as we can to get the word out. We're just, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of, fun to watch. And so definitely check that out.
That being said, if you're listening or watching and you know somebody who has a small business that wants to contribute in some small way to our cause, reach out to us on Instagram or comment on this video at YouTube and let us know. We'd love to connect with any partners that want to help us achieve our $2,500 goal.
Awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
I think we're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And I
for
think
sure.
we're going to even exceed it. So it's going to be great. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And you should tune in just for a minute if you can.
Exciting stuff. It's just that time of year. That the year is winding down. We're kind of, circling back to October. And I just want to get a pulse on the room. There's some other, obviously Halloween and dress up, everything we've been talking about. What are some other like seasonal things that are upon us that you're just really vibing with?
Seasonal depression.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
yep, that's
great.
good. Well, is it good? Is
Great,
it good?
and that's
When
it
does
for us,
seasonal
folks.
depression start? Like when
it really starts when
it gets
change.
dark. That
Yeah.
sucks.
I think we call it
Boo.
weather depression, don't
No,
we?
it's seasonal.
No, seasonal.
I'm feeling it a little bit with like the gloomy mornings we've been
Okay,
having.
I love
the cold mornings are the
those.
best, man. Oh,
But San
I love it.
Diego, this is really like such a part, like speaking from a place of privilege.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
hate that San Diego's weather changes so drastically. Where in the morning it's freezing, but then the afternoon
mean
it's
throughout a
hot.
single day?
And through a single day. And
Yep.
then at night, it might be hot, it might be cold again. It may rain. It
Yeah.
might be
Yeah.
freezing.
It might
Yeah.
be. You might be sweating in that sweater that you brought.
Yeah, you never freaking know.
That's why they call it a sweater.
Yeah.
You're so
Oh, I
right.
get it because you sweat.
Dang.
It's pretty rough, yeah. But we had a couple of winters over the past, few years that were really like, we had a span of a few weeks that was like cold and rainy. And I'm like, bring it on. Like, let's roll. Let's change the season.
Yeah, I love the cool weather. I know that's so ironic, like living in San Diego.
Yeah.
But and
Yeah.
maybe that has something to do with it. I just love when it's like a little bit rainy and you go outside and when you need a jacket. I also just love when you can wear a jacket.
Yeah.
Like, I know we
That's
never
like a
need
whole
it
outfit.
90% of the year, but
Of course.
there's this small portion of the year and like basically just probably mid-November to, I would say probably through February that
Sure.
it's cool. And you get to wear like all your cool jackets again. It's so great. That's what I love about fall is like being able to, just the cold weather, but also
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, and there's just like a different energy in the fall, I think.
In
But-
everybody, like every business you go into, every social gathering, and it's a different energy, man.
Yeah, Cara, is there anything specific that you like about the fall?
Really think it over. Don't make any drastic
There was
answers.
but while you think about that, there was a TikTok I saw that I wanted to show you. I don't know if I sent it to you, but
I'm not sure.
It's the fall draft picks. And
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, Annie sent it to me too.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Yes.
So
So
funny.
funny.
Hilarious.
We should do that.
We're gonna do an iteration of that
Yeah.
on the podcast.
We have some fun things planned for the live podcast. Ryan and I were talking about it.
Oh, cool.
No, we
yeah.
were. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
Yeah, no,
it.
we've got it covered. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I want
that's
to hear
cool.
Kara's favorite fall things.
Go ahead.
Oh, I like. It's not like fall. I guess it's like just cold when
Go
it's
ahead.
cold out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's also
That's
winter.
cool.
I like layers.
Yeah.
Like.
So
I
you like layers.
I like being able to like throw on pants and a shirt and look like I tried.
Uh-huh.
When I did.
Sure. No, I'm with you. I don't like
Like
having to
jeans and a
take off my
sweatshirt.
layers. I wish I could just wear what John said. Like, I wish I could wear the sweatshirt all day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to have to strip it off come 2 o'clock
Just
when
stay
I'm
in a
sweating
place.
my
Just stay in a
behind.
place where it's air conditioned.
I feel like I've curated
Okay.
a good. I feel like I've curated a good like small collection of jackets, and I never get to wear them in San Diego. Like I used to wear them sometimes,
Always carrying
but
it in case that time comes.
Yes.
so maybe
never
I'll
does.
bring some out on the podcast as it gets colder.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
That's what I like. I miss that stuff, man.
Go ahead, Annie.
I like dark colors.
My
Seasonal
favorite
depression, other than
fall
seasonal
Yeah,
thing.
give me a better thing than seasonal depression.
Also, that's not your favorite thing. I can't. That
That's
can't be your
that's
favorite
not my
thing.
fall thing. I'm looking forward
no,
to
I
this
know
year.
it
your
is. You're
favorite
looking
thing.
forward to depression.
Well, maybe it spices
Okay.
up your life story a little
You've had
bit.
it too good for too long. What a freak!
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Something a little more like arbitrary, please.
I love Halloween decorations. I
Yeah.
love Halloween decorations.
Sure.
I used to like, you know how people would get really excited to decorate for Christmas? My mom, when I was a kid, would always decorate for Christmas. But my dad and I would decorate for Halloween, and we used to go hard. I used to spend like, you know how people are like, I'm gonna put my favorite Christmas movie on and decorate for Christmas. I did that for Halloween. I would put Halloween Town on a loop.
Oh, Halloween
News
Town.
coverage of the Manson murders or
Halloween
something. Just
Town on a loop.
Yeah.
Sweet and innocent, you
Yes.
psychopath.
Okay.
Halloween
Yeah, fair.
Town. That's a good
fair.
On
one.
a freaking loop,
Next
and I would
stop to
decorate the
Halloween
whole
Town.
house.
It's
I
a
used to like.
taxi driver.
That's what he say. Hey, wait, really quick. Cut to Scully.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, it was already on
Stop to
Scully.
Halloween Town.
Chester, you're crazy. You're crazy,
You're
Chester.
taxi driver.
And then
Anything
he
else to
tries
say?
to kill her.
That goes psycho.
But hey, that's just what I do.
That's just what he does, guys.
That's what I do. That's just what I do. We need a close up on him.
Wait.
Oh, we'll get a close up on him.
Do you have a bone to pick with me?
All right.
This is stupid. But I
is
used to. So
stupid.
I love seeing Halloween decorations. I no longer really decorate for Halloween, but I love to see them.
You have your own place now, though.
I know.
You could add a little pumpkin.
Decorate the
Decorating
deck.
What I
won't
liked
say that.
when. What's funny is I grew up and I never would really decorate my room. But in high school, when I like had a car and was able to like go thrifting or like
Decorate your car.
Yeah.
fun things. No, I never decorated my car.
Okay, what did you decorate?
My room.
I love how she's
Your
just
you
shutting
did
down.
decorate your room.
When I got older and I was like, oh, Goodwill has a lot of Halloween, like a cute little pumpkin.
Yeah.
I put it like on my side table in my room.
That's cute.
Yeah, my dad has bought me multiple Halloween decorations because I was so in love with them that whenever he would go, this is like a secret.
Whoa.
Rite Aid has great Halloween decorations.
Yeah,
So
they
does
do,
CVS.
huh?
They really,
yeah.
they really do. And the best part is the moment the season passes, they're 50% off.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So my dad would
November
always
1st, he'd
buy
in?
me the like cool like I remember buying like a Christmas phone where it was like it's Santa, and then he found a Halloween version, and so he bought me like the Halloween
was
version.
Satan.
It's the devil.
It's Satan.
Like it's
Have you been a
Satan.
good girl this year?
what are you
I
going to
hope not.
have?
I'll steal your soul. He still talks like Santa,
He
though?
still talks like Santa.
Yeah, it's weird.
If I could have one holiday go year round, it would be Halloween.
Really? You're making some
Really?
bold statements.
And
Okay.
I love Halloween.
Good. You know what? That brings up a good question. Is in that movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas?
She
I've
hasn't
never
seen
seen
it.
it.
Don't
Okay.
spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Spoil
it's the
it.
whole
I
crux
love
of the
it.
movie. You know that
Freaking
they live in a
spoil it. I
world
live
called
for that.
Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Right?
Where would you live?
Jack Skellington is the mayor of
How would
Halloween
she know
World.
that?
Because
That's not
it's
ruining the movie.
It's
I'm
like
sorry?
a
That's
20-year-old
like a fact.
freaking
That's
movie. That's
fake
just
as
a
hell.
fact.
I've seen Halloween Town, and
Okay.
it's a real place.
I'm gonna tell you this.
right above
You
Connecticut.
like spoiling the ending?
I
I'm gonna spoil
love
the ending for you.
spoilers.
Here we go. In
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
beginning of this movie, Nightmare Before
Halloween.
Christmas, there's all these different worlds. It's in a vast forest, and on every tree there's a door that's shaped like that holiday. Kind of insinuating that when you open the door and you go into that world, it's holiday world. So Halloween, it's Halloween Town, it's Halloween every day.
This doesn't
Christmas
sound like
Town,
a good
it's
movie.
Christmas every day. Okay, there's other stuff that happens, but the point is which one of those doors would you go in?
Okay.
I need to know all my options.
Annie,
is the
okay.
problem.
Which one would I go? Well, I think
Is
it's
there
Halloween.
Labor Day?
Halloween Town.
Christmas.
Labor Day Town.
Labor Day Town.
No,
Labor Day
no.
Town.
Labor Day Town.
4th of July
I
Town.
think it's Halloween.
It's Halloween Town,
Christmas.
Christmas Town.
I think it's
I know for
Valentine's
sure
Day.
there's
Is
an
there
Easter Town because there's a
Canadian
big egg.
I
Thanksgiving?
think there's Valentine's Day.
A
Is
Valentine's
there
Town.
an American Thanksgiving and Canadian Thanksgiving?
an
Because I want to
American
live in the
Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Tell me about Canadian Thanksgiving.
I know nothing about Canadian
Okay,
Thanksgiving.
screw you. Screw you.
She probably just made
You're
that
really,
up,
you're
honestly.
really ruining
No,
this
there is a
podcast.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Go ahead.
She's making
ruining
things
this
up now.
podcast.
Top 5 moments in Halloween Town. Go ahead.
Oh, Halloween Town. Obviously,
Living there.
living there. number one.
No, that's what are the top 5 parts of living there?
Oh, okay. They have the broom store, and you get to
Yes.
like test drive brooms.
Good.
They would have a killer farmers market. You just know it.
Killer.
Killer.
Okay,
Get it?
thank you.
Get it?
Thank you.
Killer
Yes.
farmers market.
Yes.
The fact that everyone dresses cool and all kind of spooky and witchy.
Yes.
I could wear a cloak.
Thank you, Andy. That's great. John,
John, top
I know
5.
you're choosing Christmas Town. So
You
go
would
ahead.
choose Christmas Town.
Would you think? Or would you choose like
You know,
St.
I was
Patrick's
thinking
Town?
about that, and I think I would choose 4th of July Town.
4th of July Town.
No, I'm just kidding.
You would. You love this
Fireworks.
country.
Yeah.
And the free
Constant.
home of
I
the race.
die for this country.
Yes.
All I want to eat is a good
Honestly,
old hot
kind of
dog.
interesting. Hey, controversial maybe.
Go ahead.
Easter Town.
Easter Town.
I think it would be fun.
Free eggs all the time.
Oh, stupid.
I think it would be fun. Candy.
Okay,
I
top,
Hard-boiled eggs.
love
John,
that.
top 5 of Easter Town.
Top 5 is
Yep.
there's probably a ton of candy. Easter egg
Candy.
hunts everywhere.
Every day.
And I imagine the food's good. Like
Easter
Easter's kind
food.
of a food holiday, right?
Okay.
It is.
Yep.
You
Eggs.
pot roast. You can have ribs.
Hot roast. Okay. Sure. Sure.
I also, just love the pastel palette. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a good color scheme.
It's a good
Yes.
color scheme.
Okay.
And the big bunny is kind of cool too. I
Big
imagine. Do you think you get to
bunny.
meet the Easter bunny?
That's
in that town?
definitely your top 5.
He's
Thank
the
you.
mayor of Easter Town.
I'm assuming
right?
he's the mayor because.
And is he a
Or is
human-sized
it
rabbit? you
Jesus
think?
perpetually on a cross? Do you think?
Wow,
Oh,
that's
God.
interesting.
I mean, that's what you'll have to live with.
Right.
Is like he's
I'll have
dead
to see
and
him.
raised from the dead. Well, it's not. I guess it's not Good Friday world.
Okay, you
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna
you
say
guys,
what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, let's hear it.
I just Googled what the holidays are.
Yeah.
There's Canadian Thanksgiving, isn't there?
The only ones that are visible,
Yep.
there's 6 other doors on top of Halloween Town and Christmas Town.
Okay. Let it rip.
Thanksgiving,
Yes. American Thanksgiving. I'm
Easter,
assuming.
St. Patrick's Day,
Okay, I might
Okay.
choose that door.
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
You already chose.
No, actually, I would only
and
choose
Independence Day.
Halloween Town. There is a 4th of July.
There sure is.
I would still choose Halloween.
I'd like to change my answer to Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving Town probably.
Okay. So unfortunately, I do have to inform you that it's the first Thanksgiving.
Okay, well then never
So
mind.
the Native Americans are being slaughtered
Never
pretty
mind.
much every
Never
day.
mind. Never mind.
Indigenous people.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's kind of rough.
Yeah.
You just do the one that
No,
said it.
I'm not that. Honestly, I'm not that surprised that you would choose that. I'm gonna
right,
go
you know
ahead
what?
and rip
Screw
into Christmas Town. Obviously, top
Why?
5. Top 5. It's Christmas every day.
It's-
Okay. Okay. Presents.
Wouldn't you get tired
There's
of getting
Presents
stuff?
every day.
I would get tired.
If you
Where's
okay,
the heart
Annie,
behind
if you
it?
start getting presents every
No,
day
you
and you get
just
tired
keep
of it, you let me
regifting.
know.
You
Okay.
just make it.
Yes.
There's one
Yes.
candle going around this town that nobody
Okay.
wants.
Number 3, hot cocoa. All right. Number 4, mistletoe. And number 5, Christmas carols. Like really?
I mean,
It's
pause.
like-
Pause.
It
If
writes
Cara doesn't
itself.
choose
it
Christmas
writes
Town,
itself.
then you got nobody be kissing under that mistletoe.
I'll kiss whoever I want. It's Christmas Town, baby. There's no rules
Listen.
in Christmas Town.
Wait, I have a
There's
question.
gonna be like mistletoe.
We're gonna try
trees.
guys you out of here,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. I'm
Don't
getting
be
Try
saying
Guys
that.
for sure.
You're
Go
gonna
ahead.
get try
I have a
guys.
question.
Yeah, John.
Is it Christmas every single day, or is it like we're working up to Christmas every month? Like there's a countdown of 25 days until Christmas, and
I'm
it resets.
assuming it's the
it's a
celebration
countdown.
of that holiday every.
No, because in the
No.
movie it's a countdown.
You're right.
Yes.
so it's like
So
the month
December.
of Christmas.
It's December.
Because
all
the
the
month
time.
So
of
kind of
Christmas
like
sounds
here.
fun.
So kind of like how every day is a countdown to Christmas here.
In this
Yes.
house, is what you're saying?
It's just like
In
in
the-
this
in the
world that
house.
we live in.
Okay, got
it's
it,
just
got
less
it, got it,
pronounced.
got it.
You know?
I would still choose Halloween
Yeah, you
because
would.
I just love that idea
You're just
of
like really trying to be
Spooky.
spooky.
No, I used to. I realized
gonna
this
say
today
counterculture,
as I was talking to
culture's
my
very into
roommate,
Halloween
and
these
I was like, what should my costume be tonight? And I re-downloaded Pinterest.
Okay.
And I was like, I know for a fact I
Why'd
have
you delete
costume
it?
ideas. Well, my phone, I have it set to offload apps that I haven't used in 30 days.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and so I had to re-download it. And when I tell you, I was like, oh my gosh, I like just re-sparked how much I had loved Halloween and how many, I had like 500 pins in this one Halloween board. And that was, I had multiple Halloween boards. It was just one of these Halloween boards. And I was like, man, I forgot how much I love it. Like the kind of like minimalist Halloween decorations where it's just like, if you like, I really did love Halloween Town, where like you walked into the grandma's house and it just was like her home that happened, like she happened to be a witch. I also grew up loving
The giant cauldron.
yes, Sabrina the
Been seeing a lot
Teenage
of
Witch.
witch content
I
these days.
loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Same.
The old version, not the weird new one.
Oh, I liked both.
Get out of here.
I'm-
They were both two different
What are
stories.
you talking about?
The
The
new
new one.
version's pretty gnarly.
The new one is literally all about Lucifer.
okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
liked-
then I don't
It's
like
like
any of that.
Sabrina
You talking about Satan?
Spellman. Yes, Lucifer.
I like the like
that.
zany 90s,
Wacky.
early 2000s one.
Like Bewitched. Thing, right?
Okay, I never watched Bewitched the original, but I watched Bewitched
that,
the
right?
Halloween Queen. She
movie
hasn't
with
watched
Will
Bewitched, the
Ferrell.
original?
I used to
No, she
like
never
that
saw it.
movie.
You probably never
was
seen
a good
Hocus
one.
Pocus either, huh?
Kara, let's hear it.
I have
Your
seen Hocus Pocus.
Your
You can
holiday
shove that up
world.
your butt.
Okay, all right.
out of those choices.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
not
obviously
I
Kara
chose
is
Christmas Day.
choosing Independence
Independence
Day.
Day world.
Wow,
So into,
I wanna be-
no, St. Patrick. She's Catholic.
she's
I
Catholic.
want to be different.
Yes,
so I
you
was gonna
do.
go with St. Patty's Day.
top
Too
5
Catholic?
St. Patrick's
I don't
Day.
know if I could do 5.
Top 5.
Corned
I'm
beef.
Irish.
Class.
That's not-
Yes,
Boom,
yes.
you immediately win.
No,
You
she
immediately
wins.
win.
That
Alright,
counts as
alright.
three.
Everyone in this
Sure.
world is Irish.
Go ahead.
Love it.
They are. Okay.
Yeah, nothing else is that great.
No.
You get to
so
drink?
I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm just gonna say
oh,
you like none of the parts of
no,
St. Patrick's Day.
I don't. I like green and pinching people.
Okay, green.
You can do that in
Pinching
Christmas
people
World.
Irish, you're 3.
Hey, you can do that in Christmas World.
Corned
There
beef
is
and
green in
cabbage.
Christmas.
I love corned
And
beef and
pinching.
cabbage, even though it kills my stomach. But
Okay,
in this world,
so
But this
it would
world,
You
not.
it
like
wouldn't.
corned
It
beef and
wouldn't.
cabbage? You're lying.
Delicious.
maybe in
okay,
this
so there's
world-
I
2.
love corned beef and cabbage.
She's Irish. Back off, dude.
Ask Robert Philly. We have it every year. I can make it for you.
First of all, I know I've had it before,
Delicious.
and I believe you eat it every year. But it's just a bold statement to say you like it.
No.
Oh, she
I
loves
love
it.
it.
She's like a little leprechaun.
All right, that's bold.
Lucky the Irish
and then
plays
little
on repeat.
leprechauns
Leprechauns
and
are
pots
running
of
around.
gold are going to
And
be
pots
everywhere.
of gold are everywhere.
And also
love it.
St. Patrick is
There's
also
4.
going to be there too.
He's chasing the snakes out.
He's praying over
The
everybody.
snakes
It's
away.
mostly the snakes thing, though.
Yeah.
Praying the snakes away.
Praying the
Scully,
snakes away.
Chester, what do you think?
I was going to say Valentine's Day
Excuse me.
for one reason, but
My
not
favorite
gonna
day
say.
is Valentine's. It's for lovers. And that's what I am.
Wow, Chester, that's
He has a whole
interesting.
backstory.
Wow,
Yeah.
Chester,
Chester,
thank
who
you.
are you a lover to?
I've been a lover to many a woman in the years that I was
All right,
alive.
all
He's like a
right.
sloth. His arms are like, ah.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of mobility.
I can't move my arms, but I can talk.
Wow, that's
swim.
a lot. That's a
He
lot to say,
swim.
Chester. That's a lot. Hey, simmer down over there, Chester. Simmer down.
All right, chill.
Well. So that's
Wow.
great. So
So
I mean,
that's
that's
good.
where we'd live if we all lived in a Tim Burton cartoon from the 90s.
Yeah.
So that's
What
good.
is your favorite spooky season movie?
You know what? I wanted to
I need
talk
to
about
watch
it a little bit.
more.
I've really been enjoying these Fear Street movies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we were so late to the game on
We
them
really
Okay.
too.
were. Emma
These came
literally
out-
told me about these like
They came out
maybe
last Halloween.
8 months ago.
Yeah.
They
I was
came
like,
out.
have you watched Fear Street yet?
Or was it last summer? Was it last summer or last Halloween?
It was last
It
summer.
doesn't
I don't know, but
matter.
it came out last year. This trio of movies called Fear Street, and each one is kind of like a different, horror movie decade.
But it's
And
like a
we're
very
rounding-
classic slasher.
classic.
The first one was kind of meh.
1990s, like kind of pulling from Scream and like even almost like Final Destination, that kind of like
We watched
early
those, yeah.
2000s, late 90s, almost comedy horror, honestly.
Yeah,
but
the first one was like, it was good, but it was like, nah. And then
the second one really amped up.
Yeah, the second one was
1972
good.
Well,
or 1978.
We didn't
Fear
realize that
Street.
they were all connected when we first started.
Yes.
yeah,
And
that
it's
was
going back in the decades.
Yes.
And so it was 1990s, right?
Yep.
And then it was the 1970s.
Yeah.
And now this last one, which
What
we're
is
going to
the last
watch
one?
tonight,
Is it
is
1666.
1666.
Oh,
And it
right.
goes.
It's like the Salem witch trials. Like,
Yeah, the whole
Oh.
concept is this town is cursed.
yes.
And now these kids are trying to uncurse
so
it.
cool. Like, and obviously really violent, like really graphically.
So where like in the classic slashers they would cut away, they'd not cut away.
No.
No, they do
Of course not.
Oh,
no faded black hair.
No, definitely. It was cool, like seeing like the whole camp fear thing. Like they were
Yes.
pulling from what's that? Friday
the 13th.
Yeah.
the one at the camp.
Jason,
With
yeah.
Jason, I need to watch that movie too
Yeah,
because
it's
I've
good
seen
one.
Halloween and I know it's pulling a little bit from Halloween too.
You know what's
Same
funny
kinda
is
decade.
Do you guys have a TV show where because like remember back in classic TV shows back in the day used to do like their Halloween episodes and their
Yes,
Christmas episodes?
of course.
My favorite Halloween episode of any TV show was that of the TV show called Psych, and they did Tuesday the 17th. And it was like their friend bought their childhood camp, and they're like, "Oh, we have this like murder. We need you to come solve."
That's a good one.
And they come up, and it turns out it's like a murder mystery camp.
Oh, okay.
And so they're using him, the psychic detective, to see how hard it would be to solve the fake murder. But then there is a real murder that happens, so that he has to solve the real murder.
That's
but
funny.
it's so freaking good because it is like that TV show did such a good job of like matching the styles of those films that they were mimicking
So good.
so well.
Was the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody episode the one of the haunted room? Was that
Yes.
Halloween? Or was
No,
that just
I don't
a
know if that was a
random
Halloween one, but they
episode?
definitely played it during Halloween time where
Because that was
Esteban
good.
is the
Yes.
Is the
Esteban's
ghost.
not here anymore.
Yes.
yes.
That
So
one
good.
used to scare me
remember that
I
so
think there was
bad.
one where they like, I don't know, that show was wild.
No, you know what
I
was
met him.
during freaking Halloween time? Mm-hmm. Bum, 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 bum. Da-da-da.
Goosebumps.
Bum, 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 bum. Did you guys
I'm
ever watch
glad you
Goosebumps?
knew that. I didn't know what you were talking about there.
Did you ever watch
It's a
Goosebumps?
thing she
We
does.
watched it in class for
it is.
Halloween.
Terrifying.
We had to
does
watch it
seem like
at
a thing she
school
does.
because we like would read the Goosebumps books.
The best Goosebumps episode
Never
is the
saw
one
any of
with the
it.
freaking...
It was like Twilight Zone for kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
It's
It was-
the one with the freaking camera. These kids break into this like abandoned house and they find this camera and they find out that anything they take a picture of disappears.
Steals your soul.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
I'm trying to think of now classic like Halloween episodes of cartoons.
Well, there's like
I mean, there's 100 of them.
there's a million. There's like the classic, like you could go all the way back to the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's
so
a
good.
classic. I got a rock.
I love the Community episode where they're like, aren't they like zombies or something? But
Yes.
they're real or they're just like so tired or they drank the punch or
Yes,
something like that. I'm trying to
yes.
remember it,
Are
but
they just like
Oh
hungover?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was when the principal is like renting the whole facility as like a
Yes,
nightclub, and he like,
exactly.
turns the lights off, and they all turn into zombies. Something
And
it
they're
was
like-
an expired food. He
Yes,
bought cheap
yep,
food from like a military
So
surplus
good.
thing or whatever.
And
Let's see what
So
this
cool.
is. The
Yeah,
40
look-
most iconic Halloween TV episodes.
Just, like,
of
rapid fire
all
a few of 'em.
time. Okay.
the hash slinging slasher.
yes.
Friends, the one with the Halloween
classic.
party.
That's
don't
a classic.
remember.
That's when he's a bunny. Chandler's a bunny.
Oh, yeah,
Chandler Bunny.
We don't care about that. The Office, Here Comes Trouble. Pumpkinhead.
Oh, of course. John
Oh,
knows that
that's
one.
a classic one.
Also, The Office Halloween.
Yeah.
These are all like random, like Ugly Betty. Like what? I guess there's a New Girl one, a couple New Girl,
Girl Halloween
New
costume.
Girls, there are a couple New Girls.
That 70s show Halloween.
I think that's the one where they
He's
like.
Batman.
Oh,
How I Met Your Mother.
Mutter.
how
How I Met Your Mother. The
Mother.
Slutty Pumpkin Returns.
Don't know.
That's the name of the episode.
Wow.
Parks and Rec. There's one.
Tons of them.
I mean, that's like an easy writing a sitcom.
Oh,
Day
Pretty
one, they
Little
tell you,
Liars.
right? Holiday
Had a
episodes.
Had a good Halloween episode.
I-
The Nanny had one. Oh, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. It was
Yeah.
it was Halloween. The Ghost in Sweet 613.
Such a good, honestly, that
good.
is iconic.
So good.
That is so freaking good.
I love that
It
show.
was so scary.
Yes.
We should watch that.
Yes, we should. We should pop that on.
Pop that
There's
episode.
Glee, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh,
Oh, God.
yes.
Episode
Cancel that
Glee.
show, please.
Oh,
God,
it is
that
canceled.
show is so intense.
It is canceled.
Well, we're in it. We're here, folks.
Yeah.
Halloween season is upon us.
One thing that I watched during Halloween time last year was that like it was like a How It's Made series on Netflix.
Sure.
Of
but
pumpkins,
it
they
was
grow 'em.
of okay. Screw you.
Seed.
It was of the movie Halloween.
Oh, how they made
How
Halloween.
they made the movie Halloween. So cool. Like it was
Michael
so
Myers.
It was so like shoestring budget when they
Yeah.
made it,
Is
and
that
like
the one
actually
that we tried to watch a couple years ago at the
no,
Pinnings?
no.
It's
we watched
Halloween is the
it.
one with Michael Myers. He's got a white face and he like carries a machete, I think. Or no,
Who's the
that's
guy?
Jason.
No, he just
He's
Michael
got a
Myers.
knife and he knifes people.
Yeah, he's like
And,
he's unkillable.
Jamie
the
Lee
girl?
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I feel like we tried to watch
There's
that
a
at
new
Pinnings
one.
and it
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah.
It's called Halloween Ends. It's the last one of this like Halloween trilogy that they've been releasing every Halloween.
Trilogy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, we
'Cause
tried
they-
to watch the second one.
Because
I've never seen
they
the
released
first.
Halloween back in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And then they came out with they were calling it, there was
Halloween
like
Returns, I
a
think.
bunch of sequels to it. And then they made like an official sequel, which came out
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah. It was
That's
no,
the one
last
we
year.
tried to watch.
We watched it.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Boys Night and Cat. Boys Night and Cat.
Boys Night. And
Cat.
then now they're saying that this is the third of a sequel or a,
I don't know.
what do you call it?
A
Threequel. Trilogy.
But it was interesting because they obviously couldn't film it, the original one, in Halloween time because they wanted it to come out in Halloween. So they couldn't find pumpkins, and so they had to grow these. They
Really?
flew in these
Gourds?
types of gourds from Japan that had the same structure, but they were green.
Oh.
And they
painted
painted them orange.
How
and they only
hilarious
had
is that?
three of them.
They didn't just green screen them?
And they had to just reuse them.
They were
This was like
green.
in 1970, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant this was for the newer one.
No, they
No,
could,
no.
they'll
They-
find
Why would-
pumpkins.
Why wouldn't they just
Wow.
like green screen? That was
And
dumb.
they only had 4 pumpkins. So there's a scene where she smashes the pumpkin on like Michael Myers or
Yes.
whatever. And they're like, we only could do it twice. Like,
Wow.
like
Crazy,
that was
they
it.
only had like literally like $10 in the
And
budget.
the blood, like they talked about how they make the fake blood and like how it was just like this guy who figured out the right
Yeah.
consistency.
Corn
and it
syrup,
was so
right?
cool.
No,
to-
Hershey's.
It was
No,
so
that was
cool
in
to see.
the Twilight, or not the Twilight Zone. What's the one where
Psycho?
That was in Psycho. That
And
was
Looney
Hershey's
Tunes.
syrup.
It was so cool to see. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm trying to.
It was so cool to see them like make a movie. It felt so attainable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, horror movies, like traditionally, historically, make the most money because it only like horror as a genre, like only takes so much in the budget. Like
Yeah.
to make you can. That is to say, like you
need a
can
good
have
score.
a really small budget and still make a really scary movie. Like
Yeah.
those Paranormal Activity movies, honestly, same kind of thing where they had like zero budget and they made this movie with like
I really
home
liked
video
Paranormal
cameras.
Activity. Not a lot of people liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
Those killed at the box office, like hundreds of millions of dollars.
I remember when it
maybe
came,
not hundreds of millions.
when it came out back in 2010, probably.
Yeah,
It was like branded. They did such good marketing as like
Yes.
this extremely scary movie. And like when you watch it now, comparative to some of
Yeah.
the stuff that comes out now, you're like, this is hilarious. But back when it came out, I remember it was like
Yes.
all over the like
Totally.
the media being like, this is like the scariest movie ever.
And they almost did the Blair Witch thing where they didn't tell people like explicitly that it was a movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
wasn't that the thing? Or am I just conflating that with?
No.
Because I know
no.
for a fact the Blair Witch Project, when they released that, they told people it wasn't a movie. This is real found footage.
They did that.
And that's
how they
wild
soft rolled
as
it.
bonkers.
They rolled it out like they released it on like on the internet and were like, oh, this is footage, and the whole thing was like,
Was it really?
Yes.
This is all.
No,
this
it
is-
wasn't really. They made this movie, and then they were like, "We found this tape out in the woods."
and we're gonna cut a movie of
And
it.
it's
or
like,
whatever.
the Blair Witch
Yeah.
Project is like so shaky cam, and
Like
like all the
Paranormal
actors are like,
Activity.
Yeah.
it's like Paranormal Activity.
Because Paranormal Activity,
got
the
it from
second
Blair Witch
movie,
Pro-
the first movie was like this. It was a couple, and the guy was like, "This is my video camera," and he sets up the video camera to try and capture things on this tripod every
We
night.
watched it, didn't we?
The Paranormal Activity.
Oh, I would
No.
so watch it again. It is
I
so
have
Yeah,
good.
for
only
sure, Sam.
seen.
I've
How many are there?
definitely seen
5?
it.
There's a lot. They get worse as they go on, but
I've
the second
only
movie.
seen
Yes.
one, and I think it was the third one.
I'm thinking of Poltergeist.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of
The second
Poltergeist. We
movie,
watched Poltergeist.
it was like this big house, and it was like the security cams that you would see in a
That's the
normal
one I've
house.
seen.
And it was it still freaks me out because my parents just installed security cams in this house,
And you
it
have access to all of them.
It has the same layout. Yeah, sure, whatever. It
the
has the
one that I
same
saw?
layout
That
as
freaks
like
me out.
how you would see how it would like flip to like different
Yes.
cameras.
Yes.
And it like still freaks me out. I'm like, oh my! It like takes me back to that movie because it feels like real. You
I
know?
fully remember like how I felt watching that movie. The same thing. It's like, and that's what's great about horror is like, I feel like it's what you're not seeing. like when you don't see something, when you like look into the dark and you don't see anything, your mind fills in the gaps with the scariest thing you could think of. You're like,
Yes.
oh, that is coming to get me.
Yes.
And then once you see it, whatever it is, I felt this way about a couple of the, like, even the Fear Street movies we watched. Like some of the movies that we've watched in here, once you see the monster, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the monster. I'm
The
not
fact that
scared of it
you can't
anymore.
See it in Paranormal Activity is so.
It's like there's
terrifying.
essentially nothing, right? And it's like a demon that takes over the girl.
And when you see the footmarks in the
Yes.
hallway, you're like,
You're like, what is that?
gosh.
Have you ever had a moment in your life where you're like, I'm living
A
out a
paranormal
horror
activity
no,
moment?
No, like living
I
out a
did.
horror movie.
Okay.
Like I feel like this is a horror movie. This is what nightmares are made of, and I am living it.
Ooh, good question.
Because I had one where it was.
okay.
Well, I've had lots of like spooky, scary,
Encounters.
ghouly kind of vibes, but this was like this is what it feels like to be in a horror movie, and I was participating in adult substances.
Okay, which
okay,
ones?
all right,
course.
all right, all right.
You should explain which
We
ones.
love those.
Unless.
Are you talking about the ones you drink or
cannabis
different ones?
kind.
Oh, wow.
The chewable kind.
Okay, so
All right, all right.
right off the
and-
bat,
Said
you're,
too much.
you're doing great for a horror movie already.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So I had a friend who was, we're at my friend's house, and we had a friend who was joining, and he had gotten kind of like lost within the complex. And in our state, we were like, let's race to see like who can go get him and bring him back first. So we each take off in different directions in this apartment building.
that's
And
very
I
movie.
find my friend, I'm like out of breath, and we were like full sprinting. And I find him, and I'm like trying to like whisper without like telling him. I was like, you have to come with me. You have to come with me. And all of a sudden from the very end of the hallway down like so far away, I see my other friend who I'm racing turn the hallway full sprinting
No.
at us like in that scene in Get Out
Yes.
where he just like
So
and I grab
scary.
him and I grab my friend and I go run and I push him down the hallway and we start sprinting and he has no idea what's happening and we were just sprinting down this hallway and I keep turning behind me and he's getting closer and closer and closer and I just throw open the door of his apartment and I throw us both in and we're like collapsed on the floor
Oh my gosh.
and I'm like and everyone gets all freaked out because they're like, what happened?
Oh
what
my
happened? And the
gosh.
whole
That's so
time I was
good.
in it, I was like, this
This
is
is it.
literally
I'm
a
in
horror movie
right now.
This is a horror movie. I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh.
shoot.
Like I had an asthma attack from it.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God.
my lungs stung for like
Oh my
days.
God.
That's
it was
so scary.
not worth it.
It was not funny.
But, and it was not
Tell
funny.
no one.
But it was like truly, I was like, this is what it's like to be in a horror
Sure.
movie.
I had a
The
moment.
closest I think I've ever gotten to that is like getting to my car, like in a dark parking lot, like, or like walking downstairs in the middle of the night and like to go get something and then you turn off the lights and you have to run
run,
back up the
you run,
stairs.
you run before they get you.
back to my bedroom, you know. I'm
I had a
like,
moment. It was very quick.
Okay.
I was at home and this is before Find My Friends and
Yeah.
all that. You know, now you could find out where you could basically see where if all your close friends are nearby or not. And I thought I was home alone because it was like summer. It was like I stayed home sick from school or something like that. And I was downstairs and I just watched Paranormal Activity, like maybe 3 days ago. And so I had all that running in my mind, scary stuff, right? And all of a sudden I hear like this, like in the movie, huge thud down upstairs,
Like somebody dropped a box.
something like it was like a huge noise,
Box of
and I was
rocks.
like, okay, I'm gonna die. Like I was like, I literally had that moment. I was
Straight
like,
up. This is it.
do I like pretend I didn't hear it and go about what I was doing, or do I go check it out? And for some reason, I thought it was a good idea to go check it out. So here I am creeping up the stairs in my parents' house, like I'm like, I'm gonna see something really terrifying, and then I'm never gonna be the same.
Yeah, and these
right?
stairs have a
For
corner.
sure.
Yeah,
have
and
to
you can
walk up
kind of
and
see
then
That
see
is
corners.
right?
devastating.
Yeah, so I'm going up the stairs, and then I see that there's a light on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
This is it. Like, I'm going to die, right? Weird that a spirit would like leave the light on, but
And
whatever.
like make themselves known, like when they
Right.
just get you.
right? So
Yeah.
but then here's the other thing. I call out. I say, I said, hello? Anyone there? Nothing. And I just hear like these like ruffling, like low like noises. And I'm like, great. This is how I die. Like I didn't even get to do
my
like
God.
things I wanted to do. You know?
Would it be so much worse if you heard, yes?
Oh,
I mean, what would you have done? What would you have
my
done if someone was
gosh.
like, hello?
So I go up there, I make my way up the stairs. I'm literally taking like one step at a time. I'm like terrified. And I get to the top of the stairs. I'm like looking around.
This is it?
And
this is how I go?
It's just like my brother. And he didn't tell me he was home.
Jackass.
And I was like, I was
thud?
calling out.
What did
He dropped something. And I was like, I was like calling out. And he was
Oh,
like,
my
I didn't
God.
hear you. And I'm like, how did you not hear me? I was screaming. I was like, hello? Anybody there?
Dude, think about like, it's been in the news before where somebody has accidentally like come into the wrong house.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
Yes.
like you think, tell me that didn't happen to you.
No.
And he's like, actually, I have a
But
story.
you know
Oh my
that
God.
there's
God.
a serial killer right now in Stockton, California.
Dude, pass.
There is a serial killer.
What are you saying?
No,
You're
it's been
making
all
shit
over
up.
the news.
You're literally
It's
making
been
this
all
up.
over the news.
There's a serial
There's
killer
a legit
right now.
serial
I think I
killer
heard
in
this
This is
Stockton.
breaking
Serial
news
killer.
from What the Podcast. There's a serial killer right now.
Yeah. You didn't know
Damn
that?
it, Annie. Go ahead. In
There's a
Stockton.
serial killer.
What's he doing?
He's shooting. It's Mexican males,
6
Oh,
deaths,
shoot.
including
and it's been
one in
random
Oakland.
shootings.
Ryan, you better run.
what
You
else?
better
my
run.
What else do they do?
That's it.
Jeez.
But it's been like it was to the point where the police even said like they are for sure connected.
Oh God.
They are all connected. They're random.
The
they
police
have
are
like.
paying $115,000 for any information regarding it.
I'll call them. I'll say you got a serial killer.
Sounds like a weird number.
I don't know.
How did they come to that conclusion?
Maybe it's in their budget.
What's in the budget?
It's raised to that amount.
How much
I think
we got?
They
like,
probably do like
every day they bump it up like
$15,000.
$1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What the heck?
$50 more.
Yeah, what's the going rate
That's
for
the only way to catch a serial
information?
killer now is to pay somebody. To
I'd be
put-
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do. I always thought that was weird. Like, we're offering like a reward for information. Like, if you have information, wouldn't you just say it?
It has to be good enough, I bet.
It does.
Like, it literally has to be their location.
Yeah.
But then, wouldn't that be like incriminating evidence? Like, how do you have that evidence?
Well, remember,
Maybe
I
that's why
helped-
you're getting paid.
Maybe.
Like you're getting paid off, so you don't like. I don't know.
oh yeah, you have to rival
Could be.
the serial killer's payoff.
Well, like,
The serial killer's like, okay, I guess I could do 130,000.
He's like, hey man, the police are offering $115,000, so
I'll do 200,000.
you got a counter, bro. You got a counter.
You got at least triple it.
Yeah. But you know, if it works, it works. I'll
Yeah,
take
that's
it. But yeah, there
True.
is a serial killer right freaking now,
Oh man.
and I cannot believe it.
What
and
is he
it's-
doing? I mean, is
He
he
probably-
stabbing them?
he's shooting
Probably
people.
stay in
He's
He's
Stockton.
shooting them. He's shooting
Is
them
this like
dead
do
and
you think
leaving.
this is the prime season to be like a serial killer?
Halloween.
Yes.
Serial. Remember when those evil clowns were a thing?
Yes.
Oh god.
Did
Yeah.
they ever
Spooky
get
clowns.
connected to any crimes though, or
No.
were they just they were just
well,
standing
they
around?
Were, no, they were stabbing people.
Yeah, there
No.
was
Yes.
a couple deaths. There were
Yep.
clown deaths.
Okay, wait.
Yep.
I thought they were just standing.
No.
No.
That's
I thought it was like
terrifying.
performance art or something.
No.
Yeah,
There's a couple
yeah,
clown deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to go out in the middle of the night dressed like a clown and just like, yeah.
I mean,
There-
isn't that like
There's
an
a couple
obvious
people
one?
that I've seen on TikTok who do that trend. Like,
Clown death trend.
no,
Get stabbed
it's-
by a
what
clown
is the
trend?
It's like this happened to me, and then they show a picture of like why it happened.
Okay.
And there's a girl who literally has like a giant scar on her side.
She got
And
stabbed
it
by-
was like it was whatever song, I don't know what it is, but she like showed the picture, and then the picture of like what happened was like a picture of one of the clowns like on a street.
No way.
Oh my god.
She got stabbed.
Yeah,
Who knows if that's
I-
real, but
they're lucky that I mean they're obviously terrible people, but like
Yeah.
what are the odds that you run into like an off-duty police officer with like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
like,
or
I
like an
just feel
ex-military.
to
What do
just
you
go
mean?
out randomly to try to stab people is a bad
Oh, yeah,
plan.
no, for
you know?
sure.
Because I feel like you pick
Play
the wrong
stupid games,
person
win
and then they're
stupid
gonna
prizes.
like literally F you up, you know?
I think if I was going to be a serial killer, I'd probably
Okay.
go for guy with gun approach. Like, because
Yeah,
Probably
like
just
it's
distance
fast, easy,
yourself.
quick, leave.
like, but they get the thing is
Yeah.
they get cocky and they have like calling cards and they have like, you know, maybe
Zodiac
pertinent-
vibes.
He writes a letter, right? It's Zodiac, or you're a
Zodiac got
clown.
away.
Like,
They caught him. Well, he was already dead.
Well,
but
for
they-
years. For
they
years.
know
figured
who
him out
he
eventually.
is,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying,
You
like, I wouldn't
got.
have anything that
Caught
could
him.
possibly connect me because you could get away with murders.
No,
like,
because
don't they
what can
think
connect you is what if you find
There's
a good
like a
way to
ton of
kill,
unsolved
and
murders.
you do
Like-
that every time.
100 serial killers like almost on record
What's
because there's
funny-
crimes that they've not connected to anybody and that's like their estimate
Yeah.
because you could literally yourself right now, drive out into the sticks and find a random person and kill them, and it would, like, if they had no connection to you, they would never solve that crime. They would,
And
like,
that happens every day.
What's your
I'm
signature? you
guaranteed.
think? What's your
My signature?
Yeah. Like, how are they going to connect you?
they'll probably,
Yeah. Are you branding?
yeah.
Big Ryan on the ass.
A big What the Podcast. Check out What the Podcast.
Actually, you know
I
what?
like
I'm gonna go with the brand.
Kara's
Ryan on the
brand
ass.
of Big Ryan.
Big Ryan on the ass.
Big Ryan on the ass.
All they have to do is like go to the custom brand shop
Yeah.
out in El
Like, who
Cajon and
made
go,
that?
Oh yeah, Big Ryan, he got that 2
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He has tons of them. He gets a new one every
He bought
year.
100 big brands.
You know what's so crazy is I always thought that there was a really big connection between that they could track you based off of what you bought. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
the rope you bought or whatever, or anything that you left behind on the scene. That is not how they catch people
No.
at all.
What do you mean?
Like I used to think like, oh, like, you know, every
You're gonna
once
go
in a
to
while.
Home Depot and you're gonna stock up on like
Right, you
killer
get rope
stuff.
or tape or
Okay,
whatever.
But also they do that. Like they see the surveillance of him. Like
If you were buying like
how?
a big plastic tub and rope
And acid?
well, like,
yeah, and acid, and then they found, you know, a dead body melted in acid, they'd probably connect.
Well,
I don't
that's
know,
like
maybe
Scott
not.
That's what I'm
Peterson.
saying.
Go ahead.
Scott Peterson, literally, his wife is found like tied up at the bottom of this lake with like homemade weights, right, and like a tarp.
Oh.
And then
Hello,
they
Clarice.
go to
Hello,
his
Clarice.
video of him buying like
A tarp.
concrete, a tarp, rope, like all this duct tape, all this stuff, and it's like, bro, like
You got to spread it out to
buy
more
your
stores.
buy your
Go
murder
to the
kit
Lowe's.
separately.
Go to the Home Depot.
yeah, but then it's like
Go
if
to
they
the
have
murder
you
store.
in mind,
Or
don't you think they're
Nah.
gonna check
Or
if you're a
you know
suspect?
what you do? You know what you do? You have another project that uses all those exact same
Oh,
items.
okay. Here
Yes.
comes the
You're
Cara
like,
logic.
I
Build a wall.
I
Here
was
comes the
building
Cara
a chicken
logic.
coop.
Here's the
Yes.
thing.
Throw open every
but that's
bag.
what I'm saying is nobody's checking that
Yeah.
if you're not a suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, if I kill Annie,
We're looking at you.
I said
Yeah.
if, right? Not when.
Gotta check her ass for a big Ryan.
You would like
first
to
of all-
try.
First of all, they check her ass for a big Ryan, and when they don't find it, then automatically
breaking MO.
we're all suspects. And they go, okay, all the suspects, like which one of yous bought, you know, big tarp?
Which one
John.
to use?
Which one of yous bought crowbar? John. You know, it's like it's obviously John.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. If
Go ahead.
one of us murdered someone
Okay.
and the other ones were in on it, I feel like we would set up John to take the fall.
Okay, that's not it at all. Actually,
No.
It's
Oh,
wrong.
really,
No.
John?
John.
We set you up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
Who's
think-
more obsessed? Dude, they're going to be like, oh, who's obsessed with
They're
crime
gonna go-
podcasts?
Yeah, Annie's listened to
Annie.
That's
85
true.
hours
That
of
is
true crime
true.
podcasts.
Done.
I was
She
listening to
figured it
True
out.
Crime Podcast
How
on the
to
way
do
here.
it that nobody would figure it out. I mean,
I do listen to this
right?
podcast called True Crime Obsessed.
Oh my God. I do listen to this podcast called How to Kill Somebody and Get Away with
How
It.
to Make a Murder.
I'm just saying. We all saw it on Netflix.
So Kat was decorating the studio today, and I left and came back, and I walked in on her listening to this true crime podcast that sounded exactly like how they make fun of true crime
Sure.
podcasts. It was like this monotone man, just like
His body
and
was
then they
mur-
found her on the street, and I was like, "What are you listening to?"
She
She's
had
like,
lacerations all above
One of
her
my
neck.
true
And
crime
I'm like,
podcasts.
is that literally
Yeah,
how
it's
they
literally
are?
what it is. People love
You
it.
can do Dateline, the
People
podcast. I'd
love
never
it.
done it until my friend, where they literally just took the Dateline
The audio.
episodes and
Stop
took the
it.
audio and released them as
That's
podcasts.
so annoying.
You guys watch Dateline?
Oh,
I love that show.
of course I did. You know what my mom watched? And going off of like people breaking into your home and murdering you on accident
On accident.
On
or on
accident.
purpose, whatever. But
Big Ryan on his butt.
Big Ryan on his
Ryan.
ass. There used to be this TV show, and I do not remember what it was called.
Okay.
But my mom was obsessed with it, and we would watch it religiously as a family.
Talking about the X-Files.
No, and it was you would
Okay, just
they
let her
had
tell it.
like this like former burglar who was like a professional burglar, had done it for like 20 years, went to prison, got reformed, and now they had a TV show where like families would basically have him break into their house to see like how secure their house
What
is.
the heck?
Yeah.
And they would, and only one family member would know about it. So like the dad
like the
would
Catch
know.
Me If You Can
and then
approach.
the person, they had like hidden cameras in the house, and like the mom and the kids would come home, and the person would be hiding in the house, and they like wouldn't know. And then he would like break out and all this stuff.
First
and
thing
then,
you do is clear the house.
well,
when
and then
you're done.
and then
That
he would
sounds to
steal
every time you get home.
He
Go to
would
Trader
steal
Joe's.
from
Well, if you were
them.
Do a sweep.
He would steal
Okay,
from them,
all right.
and then
You
he
know
would
what?
at the
Like,
end
what
they would
kind of
bring
world
the
are we living in?
They would bring the he would steal from them, bring the family in, and give them like back everything he stole. And he's like, you like, I stole X amount of money because you didn't have it secured, and I stole this because you didn't have it. Like, everything was like, your safe was, you had it in a safe, but it was unlocked.
Okay, I'm just gonna say,
it was
if you
crazy.
ever try to pull that crap, we're done. Like,
Really?
way done.
Done.
That's a yeah.
Stealing
Don't
your
look
stuff?
at me.
Or
Andy
what's a
would be
deal
the one
breaker?
setting this up.
She's
for
gonna do
us.
it for
I
us.
1,000%.
She's like, I'm
I'd be
just
like,
worried about you.
hey, this is my
I'm
friend's
in there.
house.
I'm in there hooking up hidden
It's like-
cameras while Andy's
It's like
okay,
Pimp
this
My
is how we're
Ride,
gonna
but
do
like,
it.
how secure is my house?
Yes.
It's
yes. It's like Pimp My Ride. Yeah.
Pimp my house.
Where
out
I'd be
with
like,
security.
I'm signing up my friends Ryan and Kara.
Pimp out my security system.
That sounds miserable.
It was so interesting to watch because you would like, it was like watching a scary movie
Yes.
because it's all in this old security footage, and you're
So
like,
bad.
oh my god, the daughter entered the room. The daughter walked in the room. He's hiding behind the curtain.
How
Oh my gosh,
many-
she's right next to her. Oh my god, like
How many
so
burgles
scary.
do you have to do to become a professional burglar?
I think you just have to
Years
get paid to
worth,
steal things.
Probably.
You get paid so just the one time, and you're a professional.
Yeah, well, that's the definition, is to get paid to
That's
do
true.
it.
If you
Is
get
that the
paid to do
definition?
something, you are
You
a
are a
professional.
professional.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look up the definition of professional, but I believe you.
Just believe us. Yeah.
It's all the pieces are starting to come together. Like why my mother was so scared, like of us getting kidnapped or murdered or something.
it was
That
happening.
woman watched Dateline. I don't think she ever missed an episode.
She still doesn't miss an episode.
She still has
love her.
never.
I love her.
Every
I have
Sunday
so
night,
much
she's
to
like,
talk to her about.
cozy
I
in
love
my
her.
bed. What am I going to watch? Oh, somebody's brutally murdered and stuck in
suitcase.
multiple suitcases
Suitcases.
and thrown down the river.
Did you see that
like,
TikTok?
Good night.
Of those kids who are like, oh, we found this man's suitcase. Like, I wonder if there's a body in it.
And there was.
And there
Yep.
was legitimately body parts
I
in it.
remember that.
I'm convinced one day, because I'm like your mother and I've watched
Yeah.
and listened
Every
to all
episode.
these like scary things. I'm like hypersensitive of like, I'm going to find a body in this random park that I'm going on a
Sure.
hike in. What, and then I'm like, what do I do if I find a body?
You
Well,
call the police.
I mean-
Well,
call
yeah,
the ones.
I know, but like,
I don't know.
you wouldn't call the police if you
Try and
found
solve
a
it
body?
yourself. You try and solve it yourself.
I don't need the heat, you know? I don't need the heat on me.
Anonymous tip.
Yeah. I'll go to the nearest payphone. Pull
Was
out
it
my
this
bag of
time
change.
last year
And then they think you're the
that
serial
the
killer?
world was taken in storm by the Gabby Petito case?
I think so.
Yes, it was.
talk about
It was
spooky.
October.
So don't
It was
don't
about
come
the same.
for
It was
us.
about the same time last year. The world was
There's
taken by
still a lot
storm
of-
when Cara claimed that she was going to throw up into little bags of body parts,
and she has not changed her answer. She has
No.
stuck
And you're
by
gonna
that.
have a
and that's why I
chance.
know.
And I think
she's never going to get
Go
caught.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost.
And in 2 weeks, we're all going to have a chance to revise the way we
no.
would
I
kill
think
somebody.
about it now.
No, don't
And
say
I
now.
I think there's no. I'm not changing it.
Okay, good.
I'm
You're
defending
you're
it.
doubling down on
You're
it.
doubling down on it.
I think it's still
Yes,
great.
yes,
because
yes.
Knowing my bodily fluids,
Yes.
there's so much acid in
You're
this
right.
throw up
You're
that
right.
it'll just break
It's gonna
everything
break it all down.
Okay.
You
In
don't think
2
that's
weeks-
gonna wait. You don't think it's gonna melt through the bag?
No.
I mean, your stomach acids
I
might.
want that. I just
No.
want that sound clip of knowing my bodily fluids.
Yeah.
This throw up's
And
gonna
how
break everything
acidic they would
down,
be.
and then
Yeah.
ding with the thumbs up at the end.
In 2 weeks, well, we get the chance to revise.
Are we
how
doing
we
it?
Yeah,
in 2 weeks or
Yeah, in
on
2
the?
weeks.
Do you want to do it on
Oh,
the live
on
stream?
the live stream.
Or is that gonna gain
whoa,
listeners
whoa,
or
whoa, whoa,
turn
We
them
should
away?
probably we're raising money for
But,
good
yeah,
God. We
that's
probably,
right. That's
we
right.
probably should
Oh, true.
talk about how we can kill
anyways,
everybody.
all the money's going to Alzheimer's San Diego. Here's how we would hide a body.
In 2 weeks, we're
kinda
gonna
spooky.
we're gonna
Maybe they'd
talk
like
about it, and then next week we're gonna play the was it a real serial killer or not game,
Oh yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
done. I'm in.
which is where we have to
John,
tell a
I
story.
love your games. I love your games.
About a serial killer,
Oh,
and
we're
we
all
have to
doing it.
decide. Each of us either make up a story or
Okay,
find
okay.
an obscure serial killer. Tell us about the
Got
serial
it.
killer, and we have to decide whether it was a real serial killer or
murders
it's a
and
fake,
a
made up serial killer.
So there's a new. Speaking of serial killers, there's a new Jeffrey Dahmer video,
Film.
movie,
Yeah,
film,
I'm familiar.
something out,
Series.
haven't watched it
whatever
yet.
it is.
have you
And I've
seen it? Amy?
No, I haven't seen. I've yet to. I'm not really
Are you
interested in
going to
Jeffrey
see
Dahmer's
it?
story. No.
Okay.
Okay. Do you
I
know,
already
do you
know
wanna
what
know
it
what
is.
one of
Hold
my
on.
coworkers said today?
Hold on. What?
She went, "Do you know that this means I love you in American Sign Language?" And she did. I love you.
Okay.
And we were like, "Yeah." And she went, "I learned that from Dahmer."
You're like, that's disturbing. I heard it's
That's
so
factually
disturbing.
incorrect. a
Well,
lot.
so
What do you
I've
got
been
for us,
seeing
Annie?
a lot of things, and I truly never thought of it this way, but it was basically like because this is like the second or third thing in the last
Yes.
couple of years of
It's the third.
him that's
Yes.
come out,
Uh-huh.
and it was kind of this whole storyline of like, hey. The families of his victims have asked multiple times to have this stop. And like
We can't help it.
And it was a storyline behind his first victim and like who his first victim was. And they're like, oh, all, like this is someone you know, but you don't know, And they was just talking about this, like the kid who was his first victim. And it was this like reality of there. And it was kind of talking about that of like, we give this guy so much credit and we talk about what he did, but like the people who should be famous are the poor people that lost their lives to him, not the guy who did it for whatever reason.
Should they be?
Well, I think they should get more, like we should be talking. I think maybe it's like, why are we so obsessed with him?
I think we're fascinated by him. Like, how could somebody be so cruel to do such things?
Yeah, and that's
like what goes on in your mind.
Study
Right.
psychos.
Now, I think the weird effed up thing that is happening in Hollywood is like he's also a hot guy, and like I get like he was maybe good looking in real life, but like
I don't think that comes into play at all in the new series.
I disagree because I've literally seen things
gruesome.
like there's TikTok scenes that I've seen where he's like all lathered up in oil and he's shirtless and he's lifting weights. So I mean,
Oh, weird.
you know, really.
But they
Like,
did that
that's
with
what we're
Ted
doing.
Bundy.
Do you find
and
that hot
having-
though, or do you
and
find that
having-
disturbing in the context that scene is
Okay,
probably in?
you tell me. It's
It's-
shirtless.
But in
Peters,
the same way that
Evan
Ted
Peters.
Bundy was Zac Efron, and you know,
Right.
and I think maybe they're playing into the fact that like
Ted Bundy
in the
was Troy
time
Bolton.
they
Charles
were like
Manson was
extremely
Hemsworth. Like, you know,
Really?
in that movie we watched,
What?
Chris Hemsworth,
What?
wasn't he? Yeah, he played
I don't think
Manson.
so.
No,
Charles Manson.
we didn't watch that.
I don't know what that's
Whatever
about.
that
What
is.
kind of
Okay,
dreams are you
cool. Sick,
having?
sick,
Yeah,
sick, sick.
what?
Okay, did
Are
we
you
not
having
watch
dreams about Chris Hemsworth?
Bad Times at the El Royale?
He's Charles
Oh,
Manson.
he's not Charles Manson.
okay.
I didn't watch that movie.
He's
with you.
he's a cult leader with long hair
Okay,
that
but he's
kills
not
people.
Charles
Okay,
Manson.
okay, so like Charles Manson. I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Throw me
saying.
a-
Yes,
throw
yeah.
me
a bone.
Wait.
Throw me a bone here.
Oh,
Chester, you kill me.
Chester.
You kill me.
No,
Chester the
you
bone
kill
boner.
me.
Okay, all right, that's pretty good.
Right,
That's pretty
that's what I'm
good.
saying.
wow.
Well, we're messed up people, so I'll probably watch it. Anyways, I'll
Yeah.
probably be a part of the
Tell
problem.
me about
I'll
what
tell
it's
you about
like.
it. I heard the first 5 minutes are like really
Yes.
gruesome, and he eats somebody. So
I also heard that it's also just incorrect in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, which that's the part where I'm like, it's just dramatizing the whole thing. You
It's
know?
like
if
you
it's not
asked-
correct. You
it's
know,
like you asked a 19-year-old film student to make a movie about
Right?
Dahmer.
Yeah.
I that's where I feel like
Just
it's kind
the
of like
gist.
not worth it. Is if you're not even gonna make it like
Factual.
correct.
But what is
what's the
correct when
point?
you're talking about like an artistic depiction of something? Like we don't actually
no, like
know.
like
you know.
facts about like they
Apparently
about the actual
Now,
case.
now get this. Apparently, they have painstakingly recreated his apartment
Oh,
Yeah.
down
Yes.
to the fabric of the rug on the floor, all the cupboards, and like this is like apparently from the pictures that they took of the actual crime scene of his apartment when they busted
Yeah.
him. It's
The-
like
they have, like,
painstakingly accurate.
Insane the photos of
Uh-huh.
his they like because I feel like sometimes you get crime scene photos where you're like
Yeah.
what were you taking pictures of like what is this, but Jeffrey Dahmer's were like insanely
Yeah.
clear and
Uh-huh.
like it was just so creepy
Well, because
And it was
They
like the
knew.
orientation of the couch was the same. Like it was the same couch. Like
yeah
They probably
that
knew it was
that
gonna
turns
be a
into
big
weird
case.
obsession, you know?
Yeah, and
On the filmmaker's part.
it wasn't even like that stuff. It was just like the way that the case was handled was changed in the thing, and that's where I'm like,
Interesting.
that's where I could see it being like kind of disrespectful to the family. It's like
Definitely.
if you're not going to get the narrative of the case right, like I feel like the details of how these things happened, that's the area where you can creatively take some leeway.
Sure.
But like the way in the course of the case
Yeah.
and the way that it was handled and the way that, they even talked about like the cops that
Got him.
some woman basically tried to tell the police about him
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't listen. And those cops were fired in real
Wow.
life. And in the movie, it's like they were like put on suspension and then basically brought back. And that's not true at all. Like,
Okay, so they're trying to do like the modern twist on it, which is like
yes.
always the, like cop bad.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
okay, those
like
things like
telling an
whatever.
older story and putting it through a modern lens. I get it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it. I don't know.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
watch it too.
I'm not gonna watch it, but you tell me about it. I
We're-
love a
no,
super
I
I
spoiler.
want to tell you about it.
We're Hollywood
You suck.
swine.
I
You know,
won't.
we consume.
I did, yeah.
We love
I
media.
even
Ooh,
saw
movies. Ooh,
Don't Worry,
shows.
Darling again.
You did.
I did.
Yeah, you gave
Doesn't-
another $1 into Olivia Wilde's pocket.
She's
there,
the worst
yeah.
part of that whole dang movie, truly, and I believe that.
She truly is. She sucks.
She
yeah.
sucks.
Upon review, do we still like Don't Worry, Darling, or not so much?
I still like it.
It's a great one-time watch.
Yeah,
you
I
let
agree.
Let yourself get sucked in. Don't try to nitpick it in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a great, like, visually, it's gorgeous.
It
it's
feels
a cool,
like a movie.
It's a cool, like, storyline.
movie.
Just go with it.
movie.
If you sit and analyze it, it falls apart. It is.
Yeah, and it's been falling apart in my hands, like
Yeah.
pretty much since we left the theater.
I was really hoping that scene upon a second time, like, it would be like, oh, all these other, like, details, a whole different layer. No.
Bummer.
Hey,
Big bummer.
they can't all be winners.
True.
Just
Tonight
like-
we're going to watch Fear Street.
1666.
What's this episode? What the
What?
cereal in Stockton?
What the October?
What the, there's the serial killer?
There's a cereal killer?
What the Cara's
What the cereal
bodily
killer?
fluids? What the Big Ryan on
the-
your ass?
Big
Okay,
okay,
wait,
well,
Right on
can you
the
cut
ads.
to, can you cut to the couch real quick?
On the couch as always. Cara Tafolla, Annie the Skovmand. That's Ryan. That's John. We'll see you next week on
what the pie?